My name is Jennifer Hopson. I am the pharmacy manager at the Good Samaritan Clinic in Morganton, North Carolina. We have been in operation for almost 30 years. It'll be 30 years this summer. I have been the manager here, the pharmacy manager here for 16 years. So I've been with the clinic for 16 years. We were using NRX when I came here, and we used it up until this summer when we converted to BestRx. And one of the things that I value myself in, because we are a free and charitable clinic, so money is really important to us, and how we spend that money, how we use that money. So when the cost of the software kept going up, and then it was going to go up again, I said, well, it's time to look at other options, because that's money that we could be using on medications for more patients or serving more patients. So it became really important to me at that time. When we were looking at different softwares, there were several things that attracted us to BestRx and why we decided to go with them. When we were discussing the switch over to BestRx with our representative, they did a great job showing us the software and all the features of the software. There were things that BestRx could offer us, like the text messaging for patients. We didn't have that opportunity before, and that has made a huge impact on both pharmacy workflow as well as patient compliance. Come in and get their meds. We're not returning to stock as many meds as we were before the text messaging. And the reports. Being a free and charitable clinic, you rely on grants, and grants love to know how you're doing. They want to know every little number, every little crook and cranny. They want to know all this stuff. So BestRx has enabled me to provide, number one, better reports, more accurate reports, but also less time-consuming reports. The time that went into some of these reports that I had to do with NRX, hours wasted trying to do some of these reports. And with BestRx, it's so much easier to do some of these reports, to provide the information that these grants need. When my boss is like, I need this, this, and this, and I'll just ask her, when do you need it by? And it would take me no more than maybe a half an hour to get that information for her. Now, I do sometimes have to call the help desk to get them to walk me through it. How can I best do this report or get this information for her? And they are always very, very helpful in helping me get that information. We were comfortable within the first couple of days, but learning all that our software could do took us probably a good couple of months, and we're still learning. One of the features that I wasn't quite aware of when we first signed up or when we decided to go with BestRx was this delivery function. And we do a lot of deliveries because we serve farm workers in 8 different counties. And so a lot of those go out for delivery with our farm worker staff. And it was just a paper trail. It was like a notebook, and how we were keeping up with what was going out. Were we receiving the funds back? Who was keeping up with those funds? Was that the farm worker's responsibility or our responsibility? So this software, that when they showed me how to make that delivery ticket, I was like, oh my gosh, this makes things so much easier, because I can keep track of what's out, who has it, when, and then they return the delivery ticket to me and it's signed, and then with payment. And if they didn't pay, I put it on a charge account. So it has made all of that information much more streamlined and accountable. First of all, I like to know that I am the 3rd person in line or the 7th person in line, because if it's something that, I just have a question about and I'm the 7th person in line, I'll just hang up and call back later. Now, if it's something that I really need help with right now, like I've got a patient here and we're trying to figure this out, I will hold for 7th person in line. So I like that. And I really like the fact that I have a live person to talk to. When it's my turn, it's a live person, and I'm not going through numerous automated systems. So with my previous software, it was one automated question after another, like answer this question. Okay, now answer this question. Okay, now answer this question. And then I would usually opt for a callback. And because we're only open to patients about 15 hours a week, we're only open 3 days a week, about 4 or 5 hours a day. If I needed a callback from NRX, it was possible they called me back after I had already left the pharmacy. We had closed for the day. So it was kind of difficult to get a hold of them. The support that I get from BestRx is excellent. The delivery, that is, I'm just like, this makes that so much easier. And we never had a POS system before. Everything, we had volunteers at the counter. We had a way to look up and see if a patient had anything ready at the counter. They could sign for it, that they received it. And then all the money was done by hand. Having that POS system allows us to have a better, more accurate paper trail on the money coming in and out. And we have no longer have to use a written receipt book, which has probably saved us a little bit of money. One of the things that we were able to do is receive faxes through that. They come in to the software and we can see the fax on the screen and enter the information. So we don't have to scan it in. It automatically is received into our system. And then we can link it to a prescription and then start filling that prescription. So that eliminates that scanning process and also reduces our ink and paper cost. So I do receive faxes a little bit faster. So because I'm able to receive it through the BestRx software and not have to scan it, I don't have to print it. So I'm saving ink, I'm saving paper. I know we're saving on the software itself. Otherwise, we wouldn't have made the decision to go with BestRx. And I'm sure in terms of having a POS, that has probably saved us some money as well. I would highly recommend it. I'll tell you what, I was so nervous and so apprehensive about the idea of changing. I think as we get older, change is more and more scary. And having been through that process before, and it was a complete nightmare, I think I had a little bit of hives just thinking about what this process was going to be, even though I knew we were reaching a point where we had to do it. And it went better than I thought it did. I would recommend looking into it. I'm sure there are probably 10 or 15 more things we could do with BestRx that we haven't even discovered yet. So I was happy that when I left on Thursday, I was able to send a mass text out to everybody to remind them we were going to be closed on Monday. So as long as they were signed up for text messaging, they got that reminder and they didn't accidentally drive up here on Monday to find out that we're closed. And before, we didn't have that privilege.